All right, guys, this time we're going to divide a whole number by a fraction. This time it doesn't have to be a unit fraction. It could be any simple fraction, meaning it won't be a mixed number, just a simple fraction. So we have 2 divided by 3/4. And again, we have to be able to do it with both models and using the algorithm. So let's start with 2 divided by 3/4. 2 will let me know how many boxes I need to make. I need to make 2 boxes. In the denominator of my fraction, 4 lets me know how many smaller boxes I need to divide it into. So each box needs to be divided into 4 smaller ones. Now, I want to group these into groups that are 3/4 big. So I'm going to try and use some different color markers here so you can see the different colors. So I need one group of 3/4. So I'm going to shade this in purple. There's 1, 2, 3. That represents 3/4 right there. Okay? Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to use orange this time. I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to go back to purple. And I have 1, 2. I don't have quite enough to do a full one, so I'm going to leave it at that. So I have 1 full group of purple right here. I have 1 full group of orange right here. And then I have 2 out of the 3 purple bars that I need. So that means I have 1, 2 full ones, and 2/3 of the next one. So I'm guessing my answer is going to be 2 and 2/3, but let's check it using the multiplication algorithm. So remember, dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So my 2 is going to stay the same. My division sign is going to change to a multiplication symbol. And my fraction, I need to take its reciprocal, 3/4. If I take its reciprocal, I'm going to flip the numerator and denominator. So if I flip them, I would have 4 over 3. Now remember, a whole number written as a fraction is simply that number 2 over the number 1. Okay? So here's my new math problem. Let's see what we get when we multiply 2 times 4/3. Remember, to multiply fractions, you just multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. There's no need to find a common denominator. So I have 2 times 4, which is 8. And I have 1 times 3, which is 3. And of course, I cannot leave 8/3 as an improper fraction. I need to make it back into a mixed number. So how many times can 3 go into 8? It can go in 2 times with 2 left over, so that's my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. And look, it matches my picture. So 2 divided by 3/4 is 2 and 2/3. Let's try this again just to make sure that there's no confusion. So I've got 4 divided by 2/5. I'm going to rewrite that so we got plenty of room. 4 divided by 2/5. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is draw a picture. Remember, the whole number tells you how many holes you need to do, so I'm going to do 4 rectangles. The denominator of my fraction tells me how many pieces I need to divide each rectangle into, so I need to divide it into fifths. And then the numerator tells me how many of each color I need to shade at a time. I'm going to go back and forth between orange and black. So I can do 2 orange ones, and then I'm going to do 2 black ones. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I run out. So 2 orange ones, 2 black ones. If you don't have 2 different colors, you could always do solids and stripes, or some other kind of shapes is fine. So back and forth I go until I reach the end. All right, this one seems to be even, which is good. It means I'll probably come up with an even number as my answer. So when I'm looking at this, I'm going to look at the different groups I've created. So the first one, I have 2 groups of orange. So here's one group. I then have 2 black ones. So here's another group. I have 2 orange ones, 2 black ones, 2 orange ones, 2 black ones, 2 orange ones, 2 black ones, 2 orange ones, and then 2 black ones. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full groups. So my hypothesis is that my answer to this multiplication problem or division problem is going to be 10. Let's try it using the algorithm. So 4 divided by 2/5. Again, remember, dividing by a fraction is really multiplying by its reciprocal. So the 4, we're going to write it as a fraction, 4 over 1, times, and the reciprocal of 2/5 is 5/2, or 5 over 2. Now, if we can simplify before we multiply, let's do that. So here, I look and see, is there any numerator and any denominator that share a common factor? Yes, in this case, the 4 and 2 share a common factor, the factor 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my multiplication problem now is at the top 2 times 5, which is 10. And on the bottom, it's 1 times 1, which is 1. And 10 over 1 gives me the answer of 10, which sure enough, it matches exactly what my model is. Hopefully this helps you learn how to draw the models and do the algorithm to solve a division problem with a fraction. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.